This is the primary position to get ready to play and march. You get into this position through the command Band 10 Hut in one count.
Parade, rest, Band 10 Hut.
From here, you can go to Horns Up, where the horn comes up in one count through the command Horns Up, Horns Down, where the horn comes to the attention position in one count through the command Horns Down, and Dress Point Dress, which is the same as Horns Up, just with the head moved towards the form they're fixing, as you will see in the next few clips.
Horns up, horns down.
Mark time is a way to get tempo in the body and to simulate movement as if marching. This is done by lifting the heels off the ground and bringing the feet together. When the exercise is over, you just bring the right foot back to first position of attention, followed by the left foot.
Mark time, hut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt. Mark time, hut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt.
The first step of the marching technique forward is initiated in the and count of beat 8 or 4. This is done by keeping the heel low, the leg straight, and articulating the ground on beat 1 with the back edge of the heel. What follows this is the roll through, where the foot is rolling from the heel to the toe as if squeezing toothpaste out of a tube, and keeping the back heel of the right foot low, approximately an inch off the ground. The backwards technique is initiated in the same way as the forward technique, initiating movement on count 4 or 8. In this technique, the left leg is brought straight back, keeping the leg straight and touching the ground with the ball of the foot. Now that the technique is broken down, we can move on to the consistent movement and tempo, repeating those instructions.
Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt. Backwards, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt.
Because in a marching show, you wouldn't move just forward and backwards, we must learn the technique of moving laterally. We begin in first position, or attention, and move our lower body, including the feet, in the direction we need to go. While doing this, our upper body stays facing frontward, as demonstrated in the next few clips, going both forwards and backwards.
Forward, slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt. Backwards, slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt. Forward, slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt.
The crab march is a technique that percussionists use for lateral marching due to the harnesses being in the way of their hips and feet rotating to the sides. This technique is similar to that of backwards march in that the entire movement happens while on the balls or platforms of the feet. When marching laterally to the left foot goes back and the right comes across forward. When marching laterally to the right, the left foot goes in front and the right foot goes back, crossing each other in the sequence until the close. Notice also the initiation in the right foot. There is a move back to allow space for the left foot to come straight across. This can be done with an 8-note prep or a full count initiation.
Left, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt. Right, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, halt.
Moving into a rehearsal exercise, we can maximize our reps by using what we call plus ones and minus ones. Using this method of either setting up one step before the one we could be standing in, minus one, can be a very good way to gauge pathway accuracy, technique, and step size. Plus one would be taking one set, but then taking the next step in the next set. Again, this works on pathway accuracy, technique, and step size. Zigzags are a good marching exercise to work on lateral movements by keeping the upper body flat front. Zigzags are also beneficial to straight line path consistency and hip switches.
Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, halt.
The jazz run is a more advanced technique to facilitate larger moves in less time. The technique involves always leading with a pointed tendu foot, keeping the heel flat to the ground, extending the leg straight to maximize length in the leg, and passing through first position in the and counts.
Ready, go.
The slow roll exercise works on maximizing toe height and breaking down the technique to its bare elements, all while slowly crescendoing into the final single time march. In this clip, we go from every move being 4 counts long, to 3 counts long, to 2 counts long, and finally to normal single time marching.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
A simple exercise that works on forward technique and mark is 8 and 8s. This exercise is simply that, marching forwards 8 counts and marking time for 8 counts. The structure of this exercise is simple, but the idea is to maximize the technique.
Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mark time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halt.
An exercise to practice transitioning from forwards march to backwards march is the dead count. We do this technique by taking 8 steps forward and having there be no movement on count 1 of the next move. Instead, there would just be a transition of the right foot on count 2.
Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halt.
The turrets exercise is basically just that, working on moving laterally like a turret. We start in first position, rotating our upper bodies to the left in 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, rotating back to the front, holding for 4 counts, rotating to the right, holding for 4 counts, rotating back to the front, holding for 4 counts, moving up to box while making sure we don't lean back for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and finally back to flat front.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Five, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The Madison block drill puts all the marching fundamentals into one exercise. Box 1 is executed by marching forward, left, back, then right. Box 2 is done by marching forward, right, back, then left. Box 3 is done by marching back, left, forward, then right, and finally box 4 is executed by marching back, right, forward, then left. All of these are moves that take 8 counts, with an 8 count hold in between each.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Factories, or squads, is a way to get smaller groups to perform for better individual focus and allows for each member to watch their peers perform. The staircase drill works in the same way as the zigzag drill, the only difference being the direction of the movements. In the staircase drill, slide and lateral movements are done exactly forward, left, or right, unlike the zigzag drill, where there is diagonal movement.
Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, 3, 4, forward, 2, 3, 4, right, 2, 3, 4, forward, 2, 3, 4, halt.
The diamond drill is essentially that, moving in the shape of a diamond. This works by having 4 checkpoints and using, ideally, football field references like lines, hashes, inserts, and etc. to make sure we take straight line paths and correct step size.
Forward, march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, halt.